How do you feel when you're watching a movie and the very first scene tells you that it is going to be mindless action and explosions throughout? Talk about first impressions. Hello, namaskar, welcome, swagatam. Today I am going to talk about the Netflix film The Last Days of American Crime, and very similar to the last Netflix film I reviewed, Extraction. You can check out my review for Extraction through this card. Very similar to that movie, this is also based on a graphic novel. The movie has been out for over a week now, and I have had the chance to read the graphic novel on which it is based. So today I'll be kind of talking about the comic and the movie side by side, in addition to talking about my feelings about this movie and reviewing it. There are some minor spoilers ahead, but rest assured, if you decide to watch the movie, whatever I say in this video won't affect your experience whatsoever. First, let us look upon it as someone who hasn't read the graphic novel. From the title itself, the story exudes a vibe of legendary crime drama with multiple layers and high stakes. All this movie turns out to be, however, is a cheap science fiction premise in a heist revenge plot with weirdly large number of underdeveloped subplots. The graphic novel was created by Rick Remender and Greg Tocchini. The screenplay for this movie was written by Carl Gajdusek and it was directed by Olivier Megaton. That guy has a history of making mediocre action flicks like Transporter 3 and Taken 3, to name a couple. Anyway, the premise is simple. The American government is about to implement a new system which incapacitates a person about to commit any violent or immoral act by broadcasting brainwaves or signal.
30 seconds!
That signal freezes you. It stops you from doing anything illegal.
Just before the system gets online, people rush to cross the borders from USA to either Canada or Mexico, or try to make arrangements to be able to use their accumulated wealth after the government apparently wipes down crime with this aptly named American Peace Initiative, or API. The protagonist Graham, played by Edgar Ramirez, is trying to flee his past, or the crime family whom he owes money from a bank heist he and his team pulled off a year ago. But the money is gone after someone from his team betrays him. And now Graham has no money to make his escape to Canada as he previously planned. Enter the weird character Kevin, played by Michael Pitt. He recruits Graham to pull off a grand heist to steal $30 million just before the API comes online. And he lures him in this crazy job by promising him revenge for his brother's death.
What do you say, Brick? You a man who can help me steal $30 million? Because your brother thought you were.
Graham thought his brother had committed suicide, and Kevin told him he was killed due to the brain signal experimentation in the initial developmental phases of this API.
They used the signal to kill your brother. I want to use it to steal their money.
Along with Kevin in this heist is his fiancée Shelby, played by Anna Brewster, another shady character on so many different levels.
What about the girl?
You ever hear that expression? Behind every great man is a woman.
I'm just a girl who likes fast cars and big numbers.
After this, the preparation for the heist and its execution could have been straightforward with a few bumps on the road, but actually the preparation takes us into a roller coaster. A crime lord gone legit with money laundering is involved to get some explosives for the job, and he, as it turns out, is Kevin's father. There's one subplot which made no sense except to lead to a violent and gory shootout. Talking of subplots, there is one which involves some feds and Shelby's sister. At a glance, this looks like a character development moment, but it is simply confusing. In any case, the heist is executed, the bad guy is killed, and ignoring few other angles and subplots, the movie ends with Graham and Shelby crossing the border to Canada for a little unexpected conclusion. The problem with adapting novels into a movie is that the wordplay, the depth of characters, and the emotions and all the nuances of a story can never be transformed into a screenplay with limited time. So the filmmakers often focus on spectacle. huge climactic standoffs to make it all worth the time without actually having enough to make people care for the characters. With graphic novels, it is a bit different. Since graphic novels are more visual than literary, they are often considered easier to adapt into a movie or series. But as is the case with novel adaptations, movies or shows which adapt a graphic novel too more often than not turn out to be a poor imitation of the original. Where movies like 300, V for Vendetta, Snowpiercer have created a niche for expertly crafted graphic novel adaptations, the list of those which miss the mark is way longer. Moreover, a number of movies which may not have been successful or acclaimed actually do have avid fan base from those who love the graphic novel, like Sin City, Watchmen, The Spirit, etc. And don't even get me started on comic book movies, which is a diverse genre in itself. Anyway, what I was saying is that graphic novels are concise and visual mediums of storytelling. Movies are held in much higher regard. Movies are more universal and cater to a larger viewership, and hence ought to be more than just a panel by panel transformation from a page to the screen. Now back to the graphic novel at hand. The 3-part volume of this graphic novel has more or less the same twists and subplots as the movie has depicted, with a few major changes. Overall, I can understand the creative decisions to move a few things around here and there for dramatic and cinematic effect. But the execution of this movie misses one very important point. Overuse of action and gore often takes the focus away from the characters and the plot, and it becomes one action scene after another. Unfortunately for this movie, the action is nothing unique. The same old guns and explosions, not much storytelling happening through the fighting. So after the first few action scenes, it just becomes noise, which is all the more intolerable because of the total runtime. This movie is over 2 hours long. How much violent action can a movie contain without proper story? I mean, for the most important part of a heist, the setup, the preparation, it is confusing as hell. First of all, I couldn't even figure out who the mastermind for the plan was. Was it Kevin or Shelby or Graham? It is clear cut in the graphic novel, but the bulk of the plan being initiated by Kevin in the movie, it makes no sense for the motivation.
So you want revenge, I want legacy.
The legacy angle of Kevin clashes with the psychopathic twist in the end. But hey, that's what I'm talking about. 5 minutes into the movie and you will understand you're not in it for the story. The movie makes a very important change in the core of the original story by substituting a small electronic card to a truckload of cash.
You can have money, but when you pull off the last crime in American history,
there's also this magic drug which plays an important part in the climax, and for the life of me, I failed to understand how it worked. And more importantly, for it to be purchased so early in the story, that guy had to have some huge premonition of what was going to happen at the end of the heist, even before the heist was planned. So, what actually works for this movie? The violence, the action. What doesn't work? The characters' motivations, the unnecessary subplots of Graham's brother and Shelby's sister, and this magic drug. And most of all, the length of the movie. They could easily have shaved off at least 40 minutes by removing some subplots, especially the one with the cops. You'll know what I'm talking about if you watch this movie. But I will encourage you to check out the graphic novel. It is far less convoluted and much more gratifying. I haven't actually started reviewing graphic novels, but do let me know if you wish me to check out any new graphic novels and share my thoughts with you. As for the movie, I give The Last Days of American Crime 4 thumbs ups out of 10. What do you think? Have you already watched The Last Days of American Crime? Do let me know your thoughts in the comment sections below. And if you have also read the graphic novel, I would definitely love to know your opinion about it. If you like this review, do leave a thumbs up and do share this video with your friends. And to stay tuned with me, please do subscribe to my channel, The Versatile Doctor. And don't forget to click this bell icon so that you can be notified of all of my uploads instantaneously. This is all from my side for today. I'll be back with you soon with another review or a video on any other topic. You've been with the Versatile Doctor. My name is Dr. Abhinav Atul. It is my pride and privilege to be able to connect with you through this video. Namaskar.